Hello class, how you doing? I'm actually going to try to get this video published for doing the last 3 pages of the multiple choice section so that you have that to look through for tomorrow or tomorrow during the day sometime after you try the problems, of course. The first thing they want us to do is graph negative 4 to the x. Remember the general shape of 4 to the x looks like so, where you have 0, 1. At point 1 you're at 4 comma 1. I'm sorry, you're at 1 comma 4. And at negative 1, you're at negative 1 comma 1/4. And you have an asymptote right here at y equals 0. So what does a negative do in front of the function? It flips everything over the x-axis, and your function would appear like this one right here. Look at that nice graph. They don't have any coordinates labeled, but choice A would be what I think is the best choice. And actually, no, it's not. That's a function that was flipped twice. So let's look at, I think this one would be the best choice right here. It was a growth function, and it's been flipped over the x-axis. So choice C would be my choice for that. Always make sure you take a good look at your original image and you consider when it gets flipped. Next problem. They want us to solve this exponential equation. We'll convert the bases. You don't have a calculator on this test. So 3 to the x equals 27. 3 can stay, and I'm going to call this 3 cubed. So x equals 3 for this one. Now there are some people out there that said, well, I'm just going to plug in values and see if that works. That's a valid strategy. So the next one says 4 to the 9 minus 3x equals 64. Again, convert the bases. 4 to the 9 minus 3x equals 4 to the third. So now 9 minus 3x equals 3. 3x equals 6. X equals 2. So let's hope, there we go, we got an answer, and I'm just going to double check it just to make sure I got it right. So 9 minus 6, I'm plugging 2 in there, gives me 3, and 4 to the third power is 64, so it checks out. Choice B is correct. On the next one, it says this function relative to this function, we don't even need the graph because they have all descriptions here. So when you look at negative 4 to the x plus 2, you're thinking it looks like when you compare it to 4 to the x, we've got a flip over the x-axis, and we're moving you just set the inside term or exponent equal to 0, and here we find that we went left 2. Okay, so I'm looking for flipped over or reflected over the x-axis, left 2, and that would be choice B. Choice A and choice B look exactly the same. So I don't know what's going on here or here, but I would say that both descriptions are good. Moved, yeah, it's basically, I'm looking for the answer. Moved left across. Moved left 2 units and flipped over the x-axis. At the next one, it asks for a common ratio. Now this is going back to sequences and series. So the common ratio is found by taking the one term and dividing it by the next term to the left of it. So if you look, you got negative 3. If you notice with this pattern, it goes up each time by a factor of, or a multiple of negative 3. So that would be our common ratio. So you just look at the last term and divide it by the one right behind it, and that equals, in this case, negative 3. And then you check that term and divide it by that, and that equals -3. And you just keep checking to make sure that it doesn't change at all. But it looks like it's pretty safe to say that the common ratio for this sequence of numbers is -3. Oop, I should put D there. The next one, it says find the indicated term, the 14th term. So when you look at this, you've got to figure out, is it arithmetic or geometric? And this sequence looks geometric because each time it's going up by a factor of 4. It's as if I'm multiplying by 4 to get to the next term. So in that case, you have to use the equation a to the n equals a to the 1 r to the n minus 1. So what does this mean? Well, the 14th term is going to equal the first term, 2, times the geometric ratio, which in this case is 4, raised to the 13th power. Now, I'm going to need a calculator to figure that one out, but I assure you that on the multiple choice test that we're giving, it won't have any crazy math like this that you can't compute without a calculator. So 4 to the 13th, I'm just calculating on the calculator while I'm talking, and times 2 is, well, that's a big number, 134,217,728. That would be choice D. So another equation is if you, it's not on the review, but you may see it, is if you have an arithmetic sequence. We have, this is for arithmetic. If you want to find the nth term, it starts out with a first plus n minus 1 times the common difference. And if you want to find the sum of n number of terms, then you would just take the first, add it to the last, divide that by, and multiply that by the number of terms divided by 2. And this came from the, I told the class a story about how Gauss added up all those numbers to avoid detention. So if you look back in your notes, you should see some equations for arithmetic, and you should see some equations for geometric. Moving along, some probability. Okay, simple probability, single card from 52 card deck. What's the probability of getting a jack? Well, there are 4 jacks in a deck of cards, and there are 52 cards total, so 4 out of 52 gives you 1 in 13. A 6-sided die is rolled. What's the probability of rolling a number less than 3? Well, if you write out all the numbers in the sample space, a number less than 3 would be 1 or 2, so that would be a chance of 2 out of 6, and that would be a 1/3 chance. Two 6-sided dice are rolled. What's the probability that the sum of the numbers will be greater than 9? In this case, you have to draw a box which has all the possibilities. So I'm just going to do a summing table of all the dice that could be rolled. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in each box I'll put the sum. And I'm just going to pause it while I do this. And if you look at my dice chart, you can see inside what the sums would be, and they want to know what is the probability that your roll will be greater than 9. Well, if you look here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 places where your roll will be greater than 9. So you have to say 6 out of 36 possibilities total, which is a 1 in 6 chance. So that will be choice C. I'm just going to clean up, and I'm going to pause this video and probably going to start another one because I'm at about my limit of 10 minutes that I promised you guys. So so tune in for the next video, and I'll be sure to finish up the rest of the problems for this help session.